So you're trying to find what workout split can help you build muscle, right? Because I get it. There's like so much information online, and you got different people, right? From influencers to professional bodybuilders to personal trainers telling you which workout is the best, right? Like if you're a beginner and you want to gain some muscle, there's just a boatload of information online, right? Like you got to do 3 days a week, you got to go 6 days a week, you can't do less than three. Two isn't going to be enough. You can still get away with going with, doing 2 days a week. You got to do this, you got to do that, you got to do full body, you got to do push pull legs. I mean, there's a lot of information. Like, and I get it. Like if you're just starting out and you're telling yourself like, man, I just want to get in the gym, right? I want to build some muscle. I'm not trying to get all crazy. I'm not trying to get like super jacked, super shredded. I just want to maintain a decent physique. But I don't know where to start, right? Like I'm seeing so much information. People are telling me this, that. I get that, right? So the first thing you want to do is just take a deep breath, and just realize that there isn't really, in my opinion, I'm giving you my opinion, right? You can either take it or leave it, right? There isn't really a one size fits all solution for everyone, right? So, because most of us want to build muscle, right? We have that common goal of building muscle. But you got to realize that we all have different lifestyles. We all have different types of jobs. We all have different genetics. We all, we're different ages, right? There's a lot of variables that come into play. So I'm not going to get into specific detail, right? I'm just trying to give you like just an overview of building muscle. That's just like a regular person, right? And I'm gonna share a little bit like what's helped me. But this is just gonna be like in like a overall type of just rudimentary explanation, right? I'm not gonna get scientific. I'm not gonna yell into the camera. I don't have any special effects. I'm just simply a guy who works and likes to go to the gym, right? I'm not a personal trainer. I'm not a nutritionist. I'm not trying to compete in the show. None of that stuff, right? Like I said, I'm like you. I'm someone that started like you, started not knowing anything, and just started going to the gym and started learning over time. And I've been able to get results because of that, right? But the first thing that you got to do, and what I did at the beginning, is you got to experiment, right? You have to experiment and start trying different workout routines, right? Because like I said, we all have different lifestyles. I don't know how your work schedule is. Maybe you're a 9 to 5er like me. I don't know what kind of job you have. For me, I have a blue collar job. I work in a warehouse. So I'm always lifting up boxes and, heavy parts and stuff like that. I'm moving around a lot. I'm doing some like strenuous movements, right? So because of that, I have to be careful when I go to the gym, or I at least have to be careful of the frequency and the volume at the gym. So like in my younger days, I used to go like 6 days a week. Now I can only do like 3 or 4 days, right? And that's because, I'm a little bit older now. And like I said, I work like a job where I'm moving stuff around and lifting up heavy stuff. So if you're that type of person, if you have a job where it's strenuous and maybe you're a little bit older, then consider that, right? Think about, because at the end of the day, you want to do this for your longevity. You don't want to get injured. I mean, it's not a good thing, right? But on the other hand, if you're a person who's younger, you're a younger person, you work a job that's a little bit more sedentary. You're not like, maybe you work in an office. It's not as strenuous, and you could probably afford to go more days, right? But like I said, you have to just figure out what works for you. But you're not going to know until you experiment first, right? So don't get caught up in this like over analysis at the beginning, right? And I know that's normal, right? That's how I was. We always want to have like the perfect plan at the beginning, right? We want to have the perfect workout split to build muscle. But let me tell you, there's a lot of reasons that it could go wrong, right? I mean, it might work out for the most part, right? I mean, you still have to have like a base plan, but don't expect it to be perfect, right? Because like I said, there's a lot of variables that come into play. You might feel tired when you get out of work, right? Um, or you might not be a morning person. Some people go in the morning before work. I personally, I like going after work. I feel a little bit tired, but I at least have meals, right, throughout the day so that I have some fuel when I go to the gym and lift weights. But, consider that, right? I mean, there's, what else? Like, you could have a perfect workout plan in your mind. And then when you get to the gym, you realize like all the machines that you want to use are taken, right? People are either holding the machines hostages because people like to do that. Or, it's just packed, right? So then you have to, like, what are you going to do? If you just have like one plan and you go to the gym and you realize like you're not going to be able to follow that plan, what are you going to do? Just turn around and go home? You know what I mean? Like that's one thing about this fitness thing is you got to be able to adjust. You got to be able to figure things out. And that comes with time, right? That comes with experience and experimenting. So that's what you're going to have to do. So if you're a beginner, learn the basics. Let's say you just got your gym membership, right? You got your gym membership to Planet Fitness or LA Fitness or Crunch or whatever, right? And you're like, all right, I'm ready to start working out. I don't know what to do. What should I do? I would say just go in there. I know some gyms have like they'll have like a personal trainer I know LA Fitness does this, where they'll give you like an assessment. So like they'll kind of show you the machines, they'll show you how to do like certain movements, some of the basics. Learn how to do that, right? Get the basics down. Learn the compound movements, learn how to use some of the machines that are there. Especially the ones that you're going to be using, like the ones that are aligned with your goals. Learn those specific machines or exercises. Obviously, you don't want to go heavy, especially at the beginning. You just want to learn. You're kind of like in your learning phase, so just learn the movement patterns, right? Because that's what exercises really are, in my opinion. They're just movement patterns, right? You're learning certain movements. You're learning how to curl. You're learning how to push. You're learning how to, do a pull-up, whatever, right? You're learning the movements. And then you're just adding the weight over time to make it more challenging, to give it more resistance, right? So that your muscles can get bigger. But learn the movement patterns at the beginning. That's the fundamentals. You have to learn that, because if you don't, then you're just going to be wasting your time, right? Don't be that person in the gym that puts a lot of weight on the bar and just, doesn't check his ego at the door. Because that's gonna definitely hinder your growth, right? If you're not doing the proper form and technique, that's gonna mess up your gains. And also learn stretches, right? They say I like to do a lot of dynamic stretches, which is like, it's different from static stretching, right? So static stretching is more like, doing this and doing like the static stretches. And that's typically after the workout. So learn how to do like dynamic stretches, dynamic warm-ups before your workout. So like, mimic some of the movements. Maybe if you're doing like a bench press, do some push-ups, right? Get your chest warmed up a little bit and then start working out. Like I said, I don't want to make this video about, how to work out, how to do this and that. I'm just giving you like basic information. But yeah, learn the basics. Learn what fits best with your schedule. If you can only start with 2 days a week, then go 2 days a week. You know what I mean? Some people are going to say you got to hit every muscle group twice a week. And I get that, right? If you want to see growth, you got to start taxing the muscles a little bit more. But again, that comes with time and experimentation, right? If you're a beginner, the objective is just to get in the gym, start learning, start figuring things out. And like I said, don't worry about having the perfect plan, right? You're going to have to adjust over time. Like, for example, I've learned over time that doing chest on Mondays is, at least the gym that I go to, is a nightmare, right? Because for some reason, everyone wants to start Mondays with chest. That's why they even call it International Chest Day. So if you want to do chest, if you're planning to do chest the start of the week on Monday, good luck with that, especially if you're going like after 5 o'clock. When everyone's out of work and they're heading to the gym. Like that's the time where it's like peak hours and you're not going to find a flat bench, right? I mean, you probably will, but it's just your chances are going to be slim, right? Depending on what gym you go to. At least, like I said, like my gym, it gets packed over there, and you know, everyone wants to do chest on Monday. So what I do is I start the week with legs, right? And then I rest, then I do a push day. So a push day is basically your chest, shoulders, and triceps. Then I rest, then I do a pull day. I do back and biceps. Then I rest, and then I do legs again. So I'm trying to do legs twice a week because that aligns with my goals, it aligns with my schedule. I want my legs to get bigger. I feel like my upper body is where I want it to be. And I'm saying that as an example, right? That's because I've experimented long enough. That's because I've been going to the gym long enough, and I know what works for me, right? So figure out what works for you. If you have to watch, I mean, look, there's a lot of tutorial videos out there that you can watch. If you're at the gym, you have a smartphone, just watch a quick video of how to use a certain machine or how to perform a certain exercise, like right before you do it, and then start practicing. But like I said, it just drives me crazy, man, because like there's just so much garbage. Don't get me wrong, there's a lot of helpful information on the internet, but there's a lot of garbage too. And there's a lot of people that tell you like, you got to do this program, right? My program is the best program. No, my program is the best program. It's like, I feel like it's at a point where everyone's just trying to one up each other, right? And a lot of people, I get it. They're trying to sell their programs and, you know, their workout plans and stuff like that. But, and then, you know, you have your pros and cons with everything, right? Everything has its pros and cons. There's going to be workouts like the push-pull legs for me. I love that workout split and it works for me, but it might not work for someone else, right? Someone may want to get bigger, so their frequency is going to be more than just going 3 days a week. They're going to do a 6-day cycle, right? So they're going to do push-pull legs, and then rest. I'm just doing legs, push-pull legs, right? But like, you're going to see a lot of videos about pros and cons. You're going to see some scientific studies show this, show that. But just know that even the workouts that people might deem bad or might deem like less effective, just know that those workouts have still worked for someone else, right? There's someone else in this world that those bad workouts have worked out for them fine. So like I said, I'm not going to tell you exactly what split to do. The only thing I can say is just experiment a little bit and don't overthink, right? That's where a lot of people make the common mistake of overthinking. Like they're like, should I use free weights? Should I use machines? Should I use both? Should I go 3 times a week? Should I go 5 times a week? You know, what should I do? Like, just get in the gym, right? Get in the gym and learn the basics. And the biggest thing out of everything, right? If you can take away one thing from this video is to stay consistent, stay long enough, stick with it long enough to where you can see results, because that's for sure. If you don't just start, and if you don't stick with it, then you're not going to see results, right? You're going to think everything sucks and nothing works. So you got to put in the effort, but don't overthink it, right? Get in the gym, right? At the very least, if you're not sure what to do, and you know, you have a membership or you're thinking about getting a gym membership, go in the gym, get a feel of the gym, right? Walk around, you know, experiment with the machines, try a couple machines out, grab a couple dumbbells, you know, just start doing something. All right. That's how I got better. And look, it takes time, right? Everything takes time, right? Like, don't let these people, like these fitness influencers on social media and stuff like that, don't let them fool you with their godlike, you know, Greek god physiques, right? So easy to compare ourselves to those people. But, you know, you got to realize is that there's so many different factors that come into play, right? Some of those people, that's what they do for a living. And a lot of times it's unhealthy to be super shredded because you're drying your body, right? You're depriving your body of certain nutrients and things like that. So it's being shredded and looking all crazy. Sometimes it really backfires, right? So it's not always what it seems. So if you're comparing yourself to like a fitness influencer, a Gymshark athlete or something, just try and just realize that like a lot of times, and I'm not taking credit away from those people. I know they worked very hard for their physique, whether they're natural or not, but a lot of people they take drugs, they take steroids, SARMs, TRT, they take these performance enhancing drugs, to help sort of cut the duration of time that, they're building their physique. So just know that, right? Don't compare yourself. And some people are just genetically gifted, right? Some people are just genetically gifted, and it's so easy to see as you're scrolling, right? If you look up one workout plan, the first thing that you're going to see, anything about fitness on social media or Instagram, the first thing you're going to see is somebody with these crazy, abs, this 8-pack, shredded arms, shredded body, posing in front of the mirror in a dark room under a light. That's the first thing you're going to see, right? And you're going to think like, man, like that's exactly how I want to look, right? And then you're going to want to see those results fast, and you're just not thinking about like what goes on behind the scenes. So just know that any type of progress in the gym is good, right? And you're going to see progress at the beginning, especially if you stick with it. One of the first signs that I've noticed is, because you might not see it right away, right? But someone else is going to see it. Someone else may see the progress before you see it. So I've had people like tell me, like, even when I don't see it, because we're used to seeing ourselves all the time in front of the mirror. Like every single day we look in the mirror and we're used to seeing our bodies. But other people, especially people that haven't seen you in a little while, you're doing good and you're making progress when somebody's like, man, you've been working out, like you look kind of fit. That's always a first sign. But anyway, I don't want to ramble on. Just get to the gym, stop overthinking. Trust me, like the longer you stick with it, the more you do your research and you start to experiment, you're going to see what works for you. You're going to start to figure out like, all right, I can do 3 days a week. I can do 3 full body days, right? I personally don't like doing that, but it might work for you. You might see that it's helping you, get some results. You might find that going 4 days works for you. Maybe you're getting enough rest, you're getting enough nutrition. I mean, there's so many different variables, but just go to the gym, it'll come together, all right? So that's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna leave it there. Good luck. If you have any questions, leave it in the comments section. I'll try to address it. Like I said, I don't want to make it seem like I'm some expert and some know-it-all, right? Like I'm a normal person. And I'm still learning too, right? I make mistakes along the way, right? There's things that I know that I could be doing better. So, I'm always willing to learn too, all right? That's all I'll say. Take care.